Welcome to this explainer on the FighterFITX Athlete Performance System. We're going to be diving into a genuinely fascinating platform engineered by Ryan Omeasoo out of Vancouver, British Columbia. And let me tell you, it is completely redefining athletic training through what he calls high-fidelity movement architecture. If you're tired of just guessing your metrics and risking injury, you're going to find this incredibly insightful. So let's just dive right into it. Think about it for a second. Why are we still using static templates for human bodies? I mean, our bodies are dynamic, living, architectural systems. In traditional personal training, a coach writes up a 4-week program, hands it to a client in a static PDF, and kind of just hopes for the best. But your body changes daily based on sleep, stress, and nutrition. A static document simply can't adapt to those massive daily shifts.
This quote really hits the nail on the head. Pushing an underslept, underfed body or a body with an active shoulder restriction blindly through high-velocity routines isn't actually coaching. It's an injury waiting to happen. It's literally an absolute recipe for physical burnout. Let's put these two approaches side by side. The old way of fitness tech relies heavily on disconnected tracking. Your workout intensity totally ignores your daily recovery variables, your nutrition lives in a completely separate app, and you have zero tracking for postural leaks. But against that, we have the FighterFITX way. It uses dynamic auto-regulation. It connects your fueling to scale your workouts based on energy availability, and it utilizes real-time spatial telemetry to map your imbalances. It's essentially an entire ecosystem talking to itself. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to look at baseline onboarding, the posture reset audit, the FITX Vault tracker, and finally, FITX Cal Intelligent Nutrition. Let's get right to it. First step, step 1. Baseline onboarding. The whole journey kicks off in what the system calls the Day 1 Baseline Onboarding Wizard. The system asks 10 multi-dimensional questions focusing on your sleep, your recovery, stress levels, joint soreness, and your training history. And you know, this isn't just some standard survey. This data dynamically binds to your profile. It acts as a primary 30-day lever, adapting the conversational check-ins and setting the exact stage for how the app will treat your body over the next month. Now, the crucial part is how this data is actively used. Let's say you log fewer than 6 hours of average sleep, or you tag specific pain points like your lower back or knees. That data doesn't just sit dead in a database. It automatically triggers a specific, immediate system action to protect you. And that action is what they call an active vulnerability alert. If you hit those low sleep or high pain thresholds, this alert immediately signals the internal coach engine. The system will literally prioritize neural restoration, automatically swap out your scheduled exercises for joint-sparing biomechanics, and even adjust fueling strategies to counteract elevated stress levels. The app is actually listening to your fatigue. Moving on to step 2, the posture reset audit. Before you even think about touching a weight, the system tackles your structural leaks. Using real-time spatial telemetry, the app utilizes 3 native tracking channels: the seated wall angel, a shoulder internal and external rotation check, and a cervical side scan. Using your device's camera, green markers trace your joint centers, while red crosshairs map out spatial deviations, things like head tilt angles or arm level asymmetries. The real beauty of this is that you don't guess your alignment manually. You just follow some strict physical setup rules from the manual, place the device at chest height, sit exactly sideways for cervical checks, and ensure you have high contrast lighting at a 45-degree angle for wall angels. You simply sit level, and the camera auto-calculates your baseline naturally. So what happens if it spots a problem? Well, if the scanner catches a severe forward head tilt or a thoracic restriction, it triggers what they call an axial stock reset. It essentially activates a postural lockdown. The system will automatically pull heavy spinal compression exercises out of your routine and swap them for corrective protocols, like seated wall angels, to force proper muscle recruitment before you ever load up with heavy weights. All right, step 3, the FITX V-Vault capacity tracker. Acting as your baseline neurological regulator, the core logic of the FITX Vault relies on your maximum repetition testing across 6 specific axes. We're talking squats, push-ups, partial sit-ups, supermans, plank jacks, and burpees. By logging your max reps across these movements, you're giving the system your exact physical capacity limits. It built a real-time baseline work capacity graph so the system knows exactly what your body can handle. Now, you might have caught partial sit-ups on that list. That's because this module strictly enforces a framework called spinal sovereignty. It's a really brilliant biomechanical safeguard that programmatically bans dangerous movements like traditional full sit-ups. Instead, it replaces them with controlled partial variations to completely prevent lumbar shear stress and protect your lower back.
Here's where that auto-regulation really shines again. If your max reps on push-ups or squats drop below 15, meaning your performance drop-off is pretty severe, the system forces an automatic low-velocity regression. The coach scales down the workout intensity to safeguard your joints. On the flip side, of course, if you exceed the thresholds, it introduces progression scaling.
Furthermore, the vault makes absolutely sure you stay balanced. If your anterior volume, things like push-ups and plank jacks, ends up being more than double your posterior output, like Superman's, it triggers an automatic anterior/posterior imbalance override. The system literally steps in and overrides your planned workout to force thoracic extension and scapular retraction work, preventing you from developing rounded shoulders or kinetic imbalances. And finally, step 4, FighterFITX Intelligent Nutrition. Because, let's face it, your training metrics do not live in a vacuum separate from your kitchen. Fueling is locked down by FighterFITX. You simply take a photo of your raw meal, your prepped food, or scan an ingredient barcode. The app uses dual-turn conversational image and text processing to run an immediate audit. It prioritizes elite athletic brands like Fairlife, Oikos, and Chobani to extract exact protein, carb, and calorie payloads, cross-calculating your true daily energy expenditure in seconds. Let's look at a scenario I think we can all relate to. Say you've been underfueling. You scan your meals, and the daily data shows you are running on a severe caloric deficit. In a normal app, your workout template would just blindly tell you to go do a brutal, high-intensity workout anyway. But here, the system's caloric co-communication feature steps in. It instantly trims your training volume. It reads that you're underfueled and smartly adjusts the intensity to ensure you drop fat without sacrificing your hard-earned lean muscle tissue. And conversely, if you're in a surplus, the intensity scales right up to maximize your output. Which brings us to our final takeaway: claim movement sovereignty. What we've been exploring today is what the platform calls the triad of athletic longevity. It's a complete paradigm shift toward data-driven autonomy, totally free of any social media hype. It seamlessly links neuromuscular guardrails from the FighterFITX Vault, the axial stack reset from the posture diagnostic, and caloric co-communication from the FighterFITX engine. It's an intelligent, self-regulating infrastructure that connects your baseline, posture, vault capacity, and fueling into one brilliantly dynamic engine. Mastery really does require consistency, but consistency needs a system that actually adapts to you. So my final question for you is this. With real-time telemetry and macro auto-regulation now available at your fingertips, are you ready to stop guessing, run your baseline scans, and start auditing your movement architecture inside the Day One Den? It's time to finally claim true sovereignty over your performance.